Hi, my name's Jesse Eker, and today we're talking about the 6 most powerful strategies that I know for managing and working with a team online. These are definitely different strategies that you've heard before, and I just want to let you know that these have been super effective for our team and continue to create a great culture for our team and great work ethic and get great damn results, right? That's what we care about. So, as I mentioned, I started working online 8 years ago. It was just me and my wife. Things were very simple and easy. Now we have a team of 16 people. That doesn't include our contractors. That doesn't include our vendors. There's a lot of different people. Probably doesn't include our coaches. Probably have about 30 different people that work for us. So working online from all different areas of the world. We have people in America. We have Canada. We have South America. We have Asia. We have Europe. We literally are international. So how do you align everyone? How do you get everyone on the same page? How do you get to keep everyone rowing and aligned in the same direction so that you get the best results possible? Well, it's these 6 strategies, and let's start with strategy number 1. Strategy number 1 is a big one, and I think it's a big mistake that most people make. Now, let me just give some context to this super fast. It depends on the position, okay? But if it's not a position where you have to be there on the hour by hour basis, like a client care person, they need to be there on an hourly basis. What we like to judge people on is not on the amount of time they actually work, but on the results that they get, which means that you need to be clear on what you want them to do and the result that you'd like them to achieve. If you don't know what results they're gonna get, well, guess what? You're probably not gonna get the result that you want. So it's really important, at least, to define the results that you want them to get. And if they are getting that result, don't harp on their ass for working less. Like, that's the pro of working online. If you can be effective and very productive in a shorter amount of time and you're getting the results that you want as the business owner or the CEO, well, good for them and good for you too, right? You know, obviously you can always put more on their plate, but we always judge people on the result, not on the hours. And this creates a great culture of flexibility. It creates a great culture of productivity, effectiveness, and a lot more fun. So strategy number 1 is to focus on the results and not on the hour. And strategy number 2. So strategy number 2 is a big one because as you start to work with more people, there's going to be different methods of communication. And we've done everything from different emails to project management softwares to messengers and stuff like that. It just gets crazy. So one of the most important things is to define what tools you are using for what type of communication. We were finding that we were getting way too many emails. So guess what we did? We banned emails within the company. So no one in the company is allowed to send emails to each other. So how we communicate is in 2 different ways. One way we communicate is through something called a project management tool called Asana. Now, Asana is a project management tool that helps us stay in front of the projects that we're working on as a team. We use the comment feature if we have some comments that we have about the actual task, and then we use that feature for some sort of communication. But what we use really the most is a tool called Slack. And we use that over Skype because we find it much better for what we need to use. There's just more functionality as a team and different channels that we can have, different communications. It's just much easier. So Slack is more like the direct message. Hey, I have a quick question. Hey, I need your input on something. Hey, I need something to happen. So Slack is the communication for us as we need a quick response. Asana is, hey, we're working on this project and here's what the tasks are. So we never put into Slack, hey, I need you to do this if it's not something that can be handled right there. So anything that takes more than basically 5 minutes goes into Asana as a task and project so that we can keep tabs on it. Our project manager does that. So we have email for our vendors and outside our company. We have Slack for inside our company, direct messaging, something that takes 5 minutes or less, or just a conversation to have. And then we have Asana for our project management tools. So you don't want to crisscross them all up. You don't want, some people using email, some people using Slack, some people using Asana. And if you have different tools, that's cool. I'm just using us for an example. you want to make sure that you are clear and defined for what tools, for what communication type, and that's going to make everyone's life much, much easier. Strategy number 3. So strategy number 3 is something that we implemented about 4 years ago, and it's been a game changer for our culture, building bonds with each other. And that is simply, we went from only being on audio communication to having to be on video, meaning that every meeting that we do is video. And that works with just seeing the person, pretending like you're like there. Like I feel like I like if you're looking at me, like it's much easier to know what I look like, how I'm acting, if my hands are doing weird things, whatever it is. If you're doing it on video, you can also see what other people are doing. Are they paying attention? Are they doing other things, right? You never know when they're on audio. So the video is a game changer for making sure you have a virtual team, and that when you have a virtual team, and that's really important for you to not only build the relationship with the people you're working with and see each other, because it can get lonely in offices by yourself. So it's nice to get that energy of other people. At the same time, it's really good for you as the business owner or the CEO or whatever you're doing to manage, to see what people are doing. So for effectiveness. So that is tip and strategy number 3. Strategy number 4. This is a big one, especially if you're working with people all around the world. And one of the things that I can't stand is when I message someone on Slack and I'm like, where the F is this person? Like what's going on? Like, this is working hours. And so for us, what we made as a change was we set expectations for hours, okay? Now, we don't judge people on the amount of hours they work, but we do have expectation for working hours. And that's normally based off of my working hours so that we can be as a team. Now, I understand where people are around the world and I understand where they what might be late for them, but there is an expectation that, they are going to be around these specific hours, which means that an open flow of communication, because there's nothing that stops you more than a break in communication and having to delay it the next day, right? So when you're in person, it's like, hey, let me just go walk to Bob's room or to Jane's house, to Jane's office and open her door and ask her a question. Well, if you're online, sometimes that doesn't work. Some people are in yoga. Some people are petting with their dog or taking care of their baby. Whatever it is, there's lots of different cooking in a meal, right? There's lots of different things that might happen. So it's best to have the expectation so that and you're not like where the heck are these people? So make sure you set those expectations. That's strategy number 4. Okay, strategy number 5. This one is a good culture building one, and it's something that I believe makes a more powerful virtual team. It helps you with not only hiring, but also letting go of people and also rewarding people, okay? So this is basically built-in cultures. A built-in culture is like values that you have. For us, our values are very, very different than what most people would say their values are, like integrity, leadership, consistency. Like those are some people's, being bold, right? So those are some people's core values and nothing wrong with that. I think they can be a little bit lame. So what we decided to do was we looked for metaphors of what those characteristics really were. So, for example, one of ours is be an ant. Kind of weird, right? But it works because ants are known for lifting 1,000 times more than their body weight and doing whatever they can possible to help the ant colony. They work together. They are very, very special species that really do whatever it takes to make sure that the colony itself is surviving. So we say be an ant. Another one is be a Pac-Man. Pac-Man, the video game. Well, they love to eat things up. They are hungry. They are very, very hungry for making sure that they get as much food as possible so they can advance to the next level. So when you want to be hungry, which we want our people to be hungry, to striving for more, to get to that next level, we say be a Pac-Man. Those are 2 of the 5 that we have, and that's really important for core values. So you don't have to be creative like we are. Well, maybe we're not super creative, but we have defined things that people have bought into. We've had people buy shirts about it. We've had people change their status about it. People really identify with specific values that we have. It's been super helpful for us. And again, we've been doing this now for 8 years. So we have a little bit of a track record. We're a multi-million-dollar company, and we've been working virtual the whole time. Okay, number 6, the grand finale. This one's good because what ends up happening, again, you're not working with someone right next to them, which is really important. So it's important to understand that people just continue to do things as you ask them to do. So what ends up happening is people start to get very busy quickly. And since you're not working with them, you're not really knowing exactly what they're doing on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis. People are like, I'm at full capacity. I can't do anymore. Like you're giving me too much work. So one of the most effective strategies I've used every 90 days or so, or whenever someone says, hey, I'm getting really busy and overwhelmed, or I just feel like I can't do all this, I ask them to do something very specific. It's called activity tracking. Activity tracking is really simple, but really effective, okay? So what you do for an activity tracking is simply get people to write down every activity they do throughout the day for 2 full weeks, all right? I ask them to do it for 2 full weeks, then we go through it together and we say, hey, this is kind of unnecessary for you to do. Why are you doing this? Or can you explain why you've decided to take this on and why it's taking so long so that we can make sure that we work through it? What you'll find is, 25 to 30% of the stuff they're doing is completely eliminatable. Is that even a word? You can eliminate it to get rid of it, right? Some of the stuff you can actually replace with new and better techniques, and some of the stuff you want to keep and make sure. So before you go and spend more of your hard-earned money, because that is your money, more money that you spend, less money in your pocket to do the things that you want to do, then you need to make sure you do activity tracking. So we always say, first, you do activity tracking. Make sure that you can free up some capacity for them. If you can't, you look for another department that maybe can step in. If that department can't step in, then you could go ahead and look for hiring. Okay, so those are the 6 different strategies for managing a rock star, amazing virtual team. Which of the 6 are gonna have the biggest impact on you in your business? Why don't you just comment below and tell me which of the 6 work best for you? To summarize, they go like this. 1, focus on the results, not on the hours. 2, have a clear understanding of communication with the tools that you have to make sure that there's no complexity, that there's not some people doing one thing and some people do the other. Establish those boundaries and rules. 3, meet on video, right? We want to make sure that you're meeting on video. You can see face to face, build that relationship, and also make sure that you are kind of monitoring what people are doing during your meeting. 4, set expectations for hours working. You don't want to be wondering what the heck someone's doing. You want to make sure that you are clear on when those hours are and everyone's working around the same time. Get that flow going. Make sure that the communication's there. Number 5 is have core values. It's people that can buy into so they can really get behind. And 6, make sure that you're doing activity tracking at least every 90 days or when someone comes to you when they feel like they are at full capacity and can't take anymore. Thanks again for watching this video. If you like this video, then go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We do more videos like this on an ongoing basis for business growth, for money, mindset, and impact. I hope you enjoyed this so much and look forward to seeing your comments below. Bye for now.